Welcome back to the Future Scholar Network, where history and philosophy meet education. Today, we dismantle the 18th century domestic sphere by positioning Mary Wollstonecraft's intellectual defiance against passive femininity. Let's uncover how her radical ideas shaped the very foundations of modern pedagogy. The contrarian provocation. In the 18th century, a woman's mind was treated as a decorative ornament rather than a rational tool. But Mary Wollstonecraft declared intellectual war on this passive femininity, demanding rigorous cognitive cultivation over domestic subservience. Was she merely a rebel, or the true architect of the modern classroom as we know it? The philosophical stakes. True liberty is impossible without equal education, yet for centuries, women were denied the right to think for themselves. We are dismantling the Enlightenment's greatest contradiction by exploring Wollstonecraft's radical defiance against the domestic sphere. Discover how her demand for rationalism laid the foundational architecture for every woman's right to learn. The historical bridge. What if the roots of your modern education weren't found in a textbook, but in a scandalous 18th century manifesto? Mary Wollstonecraft challenged the entire Enlightenment establishment by proving that cognitive equality is the only path to freedom. We trace her journey from radical philosopher to pioneer of intellectual liberation. The myth of the ornamental woman. Challenge the 18th century social script that prioritized grace and sensibility over intellectual substance. Contrast passive femininity with Enlightenment ideals of individual agency. Set the stage for Wollstonecraft's arrival as a disruptive force against the caged bird syndrome of the domestic sphere. The architecture of intellectual defiance. Introduce A Vindication of the Rights of Woman as a manifesto for cognitive sovereignty. Examine her critique of Rousseau and the systemic denial of rational education for girls. Explain why she viewed ornamental accomplishments like needlework and music as tools of social enslavement. Rationalism as a revolutionary tool. Transition from theory to her demand for a rigorous, co-educational curriculum based on logic. Argue that virtue cannot exist without understanding, positioning mental discipline as a prerequisite for moral character. Detail her vision for a national education system dismantling hierarchy between the sexes in the classroom. The political stakes of the mind. Connect classroom equality with the broader pursuit of civil and political liberty. Analyze how depriving women of education maintained a subordinate citizenry. Discuss her radical claim that a woman's first duty is to herself as a rational being, not merely to her family. Wollstonecraft's blueprint in the modern age. Evaluate how her 18th century radicalism serves as the DNA for today's global education movements. Trace the lineage from her defiance to contemporary debates about digital literacy and gender equity in STEM. Conclude with her enduring message: true freedom is impossible without the liberation of the mind. Closing. Mary Wollstonecraft was more than a rebel, she was the architect of intellectual liberation. Her radical insistence on rational education continues to echo in classrooms, universities, and digital spaces today. Thank you for watching this lecture on the Future Scholar Network. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the philosophy of education. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning.